What's going on, guys? I really hope this is now working. My goodness, what's going on? I cannot believe what kind of day it is today. Tell me in the comments if this is for you like that as well. Okay, I'm great. This is subscribers only, so no nonsense people in here. I'm sick and tired of these Turkish people demanding me talking in their language, which is absolutely racist and ridiculous. So please, I am really, really not in the mood. I have my migraine kicked in. The whole day was a complete mess, and it's still ongoing. I still have lots of phone calls to make. It's 4 p.m. here. My entire day's schedule is completely gone, dissipated, total mess. I am just running like in a treadmill right now, like the whole since 9 a.m. in the morning, and I cannot believe how chaotic everything is. Tell me in the comments if this is a day for you like that as well. And if you don't follow me on LinkedIn, follow me on LinkedIn, because I have a lot to say about healthcare, what's going on, about the politicians, the how didn't I say how much I talked about how much politicians literally are fake and fake the crap out of us, and literally on the election day they literally completely disregard the people. And today I literally experienced this morning out of nowhere, and not only the public matters that is related to public and whatever the public needs, and also about healthcare. I am stunned the how much people still insist on believing and trusting politicians, and how much, if you also follow the news, what's going on with the government shutdown. I mean, the whole thing is just unbelievable. Everything, the entire thing that I mentioned, like, and I was screaming all over for years about and on my channel, is literally I experienced this morning on a lot of levels, every single piece of it. So we'll do another video on that. So I'm just letting you know I will have to rush through this, but I have a real life experience today based on what we are doing for the last 10 days. This is about, I will give you right now an example how you can use it and like literally flip the switch immediately with the techniques I taught you for the last 10 days. This is day 10 of our Rewire Your Brain with Gratitude challenge. And I'm going to tell you right now, during all the stress this morning, I immediately did the switch. Within 30 seconds, everything changed, including a miracle happened. I'm telling you, this is not the first time, this is not the second time, this is not the third time. I mean, how much I need to tell you to convince you that this works. It's not miracles, it's not woo-woo stuff, it's not manifestation nonsense. It is 100% neurobiology, which the techniques that I taught to you, not only here for the last 10 days, but also in our Journal With Me challenge. I'm going to tell you right now what I did. And so to prove to you once again, this is not a joke. This is not something, any woo-woo stuff. This is not anything random. This is a technique that I use every single time in my life, every single day. My goal my hope and my goal is to bring you to that stage so that you can actually, at the moments you need the most, and we'll get to adversity, at the times of adversity, how can you apply, which is literally tomorrow, day 11, gratitude during adversity. And today was the moment this morning at the time of adversity. And I will tell you right now what I did that flipped the script 100%, not only on earth, but also on the heavens. And this is the bottom line of my justice class. This is, if you get this, this is the bottom line of my justice, like my 3-step blueprint. If you are able to flip the switch, this means that's why I keep saying in the justice class, it's about justice on earth and receiving justice from the heavens. And this is exactly what this works as well, here and here. Okay, so, and then after that, I will be going through to the sleep, how gratitude regulates your sleep, and I give you the neuroscience behind of it. Okay, so first, what happened today? Again, if you had such a horrendously chaotic day, this is, I mean, you're not alone. I don't even know what on earth happened this morning. So I had an appointment and I literally woke up earlier and I said, listen, this is such a long distance. So I used the public transportation and it was raining, it was cold and it was raining. So there was no chance. I also don't bike anymore because it's so dangerous and this is a long distance and it's raining and cold, so public transportation. And the public transportation had always issues all the time, okay? And I said, okay, this time, and I waited for 2 months about this appointment. And I said, okay, I will take more time to get there. I woke up early. Everything was smooth. I was super on time, really like an hour in advance. Okay, no problems. Okay. So I went there, all the rain, all the things, and go there. The public transportation train station is closed. I was like, what? What is this? Oh my God. I went all the way back to the other door, closed. What? There's no other train station. It's the only train station. So I looked around, I was like, oh my God, like what? Where am I supposed to go now? I looked, oh, there's a shuttle. Okay. To whatever train station, there's a shuttle bus. I'm like, oh, great. This is not a good sign. If shuttle is involved, okay, this is crazy. I'm like, okay, waiting for the shuttle. Shuttle is coming and I have only 30 minutes left to the appointment. And I'm still there still. 30 minutes and I'm like, okay, damn. Got in the shuttle. With the rain, obviously how the traffic is, you go by bus, and after a few stations later, I got to the train station. I run out like a Olympic sprinter. Okay, I could probably beat any Olympic sprinter at that moment. I was sprinting through the entire hall to get to the other train station, to get to the place where I was supposed to go. Get there, run there, supposed to go to that train. Uh-oh, that train doesn't work either. I'm like, what? So where am I supposed to go? Oh, you have to go to the complete different train and then go to one, like 2-3 stops. And then from there, you have to go walk or run like a sprinter to the other train to get to the train that is not working so that I can go to the place where I'm supposed to go. I'm like, this is crazy. Since when is this? Oh, how long is it going to go? Oh, until the 13th. Great. Since when is this happening? Guess what? And that freaked me out. November 4th, the election day. Of course. Like, I was just literally saying, like, don't make it so obvious that you laugh at our face to the public. They, like, the politicians make this so unbelievably obvious. Like, they have no ethics anymore. Like, but at least wait one day, so don't make it too obvious that you totally screw us literally on the election day. Like, oh, screw you. Now we have 4 more years or 2 more years and whatever. It's in my pocket. That's why I keep insisting on my videos, don't trust politicians. Don't trust them at all. They are literally laughing at our face. Election day, all the system broke down. And I have to go to that appointment. I wait for 2 months. And they only have, listen to this, 15 minutes grace. That's a joke, okay? 15 minutes grace. One time before, I couldn't get in because it was 20 minutes late because of all the train public transportation. And I knew that if I will be definitely later than 15 minutes, I will not get in. They don't let me in. And that will be horrendous because I already paid I'm already on the road, okay? And then I did all the trains, and then sprint again to the other train, and then get on the train, called them twice to tell them I'm on my way and I'm coming, so please let them know that I'm coming. Couldn't reach them. Couldn't reach them. You always reach them. I couldn't reach them. God, okay. I have literally 5 minutes left and I'm still not there. I'm told I have like so many stations to go. Then I said, okay, I had literally 3 more stops. I cannot reach them and I'm like totally cramped, like so tight, so stressed out, so much under stress. And then I said, that's immediately, I said, okay, Aigun, stop it. Flip the switch right now. I didn't even take a deep breather. I said, Aigun, okay, calm down. Everything's fine. Everything is fine. Everything is just fine. Everything will be fine. Everything is fine. I said this 2-3 times. Everything is fine, Aigun. Everything will be fine. And if they don't, they will take you. They will take you, you will make it. They will take you, you will make it. And if you don't, and this is the first time I said this to myself, because this is, if you are a high achiever like me, listen to this carefully. Because for me, I never said ever, I always said, this will work out, this will work out, this will work out, everything will be fine, this will work out. But for the first time ever, I said, this was very hard for me. But listen to this. If you are a high achiever, listen to this. For the first time, and I had like as if somebody was turning things into my chest. I said to myself, everything was fine, you will make it, everything is fine. But if you don't, if they don't take you, if you can't make it, it's not the end of the world. It's fine. It's okay. You will lose money, it's fine. If they won't take you, it's fine. It's not the end of the world. It's fine. But you will make it. And if you don't, it's not the end of the world. And immediately, as I said that, and there's something twisted in here, I automatically switched. It said, I didn't even purposefully did it. It was subconsciously immediately I said, thank you. I was grateful. I said my gratefulness, gratefulness and thankfulness and gratefulness. Like, that's what I'm trying to explain to you. The gratitude comes, that's why I'm trying to train you, comes naturally. And Amber, I believe, got that in the Journal With Me challenge, because we trained there to do, bring ourselves to the calm state and the alpha state. And I am telling you, and maybe we'll talk about this tomorrow in the adversity. During the adversity, I didn't even breathe. I didn't do any breathing or anything. It was quick. It was literally 30 seconds or something. I'm telling you, you don't need an hour. You don't need 50 minutes. You don't need 15 minutes. You don't even 10 minutes, not even 5 minutes. It wasn't even 30 seconds. My brain, my cognitive, I switch from this is the entire 10 days of lecture right there. The entire limbic system and the hippocampus, who memorized the bad memory and said, they didn't take me before. 15 minutes I was late. That caused my entire, the trauma, the memory, the negative memory. They didn't take me. They didn't take me 15 minutes late. They didn't take me. Oh God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, if they didn't take me, right? That's the complete hippocampus. We discussed that. And that brings the bad memory. And the entire frozen or fear or fight or frozen memory time, or the threat, flight or fight mode, all it triggers the amygdala and the entire limbic system, the emotions, the sensory, and my entire body was cramped. I was doing like, they didn't call me, like, damn, they don't, I cannot reach them. Like, my entire body was like, cramped. And then in those seconds, I immediately stopped and said, okay. And I consciously talked and said to myself, using my prefrontal cortex, and said, Eigen, everything will be fine. I use my prefrontal cortex, brought from my limbic system to my prefrontal cortex. We taught everything about this. This is the entire 10 days lecture in 30 seconds. And then after I said that, entire lecture that I mentioned, that brought me to the vagal state, the vagal activation, not my deep breathing, my cognitive function, my prefrontal cortex activation immediately switch from the sympathetic to parasympathetic by vagal activation. The entire 10 days lecture. There you go. And immediately, as my parasympathetic nervous system was activated, boom, the gratitude flushed from my core to my entire body. And I said, thank you so much. I was so wholeheartedly thankful. And you will ask me, what are you thankful for? I don't know. I was just thankful. Grateful. I just was thankful. You tell me what the end of the story was. I was already past 15 minutes, almost 20 minutes. And after I got off the train, I still rushed like the third time, speed like a sprinter, to the office. And then I said here, this has happened, whatever, and I got in. This, I said, I don't mind if I wait, but I have to get in. And it was fine. I did get in. I had to wait 30 minutes, but it's okay. But guess what happened? Because I was so cramped, so tense, with all the sprinting, with all the tight muscles sprinting, and my back, my back as well, I was literally cramped my whole body, and with that sprinting, I injured my back, my lower back. So for 30 minutes, I was actually in severe pain, sharp, because you could really see that the muscle was so tight that it actually was pressuring and squeezing the nerve. Do you see now how much? And I couldn't sit. For 30 minutes, I was standing because I couldn't sit because it was so painful, like sharp pain. Why? This is where all the disease happens. Because when we are constantly in sympathetic nervous system and constantly the adrenaline, not adrenaline because of stress, but because I'm speeding like a maniac, right? All the adrenaline and then the cortisol are firing up. The amygdala is like fight or flight, right? Like really, like this is like a threat. I'm late, they won't take me. The hippocampus, the bad memory, they won't take me. All of this is, if you're constantly in the sympathetic nervous system, that's when all illnesses, all disease happens. Guess what? Okay, I was in, and then I really had a hard time to sit, to do anything. And then after that, because after it was over, that slowly, pain dissipated. Still a little bit there, but not as much. So that I can sit right now. Do you see, do you actually see? This is literally, the entire 10 days lecture in 30 seconds. This is how it is. I want you to become like this. In that millisecond to switch, to activate your prefrontal cortex so that your parasympathetic nervous system is activated and you can get better health. And now I will actually switch to, as I'm now talking about the parasympathetic nervous system, activation of the vagal nerve, and we are talking about now how it will affect the sleep. So let's do the transition then. If I were to not know any of this, not even applying, or I was in a course, okay, whatever, and I couldn't even understand how I'm supposed to do this, right? But now, if I were to have no clue, we're in all tons of courses, guidebooks, whatever, and I still couldn't get any understanding of it, with this tension, with these experiences, if I were to go to sleep tonight, how would you think my sleep would be affected? How would you think my sleep would be affected? Like horrendous, right? I would probably not sleep at all. Why? Because my adrenaline is still up here, my cortisol is still up here, my hippocampus, it still has the bad memories, and I will go haywire, right? My brain will go non-stop, thinking. This is the entire, and I will sleep up at night, because my sympathetic nervous system wouldn't allow me to go to sleep. the sympathetic nervous system is not ideal for the sleep and rest and calming down. You must be in the parasympathetic nervous system activation so that you can get the proper sleep. Does it make sense now? I do hope that does make sense now. So basically, again, the parasympathetic nervous system is literally the key for the better sleep and better rest. And you by now already have learned the difference between the parasympathetic nervous system and the sympathetic nervous system, how to activate from the sympathetic nervous system to the parasympathetic nervous system. That is the key for a great, regulated, good night of sleep. Okay, so the poor sleep, when we have poor sleep, the cognitive arousal is off the scale, right? And so that is when the sympathetic nervous system is in dominance. As I mentioned, we have to bring the parasympathetic nervous system in dominance for a good regulated sleep. So that's why I mentioned in our Journal With Me challenge to Amber and said, because we both simultaneously, this was crazy, like she and I simultaneously reported one night we couldn't, neither she nor me, we couldn't sleep because our brain were going haywire and we were like thinking. And then I said to her, okay, my recommendation is usually like, I really, for I don't know how many years ago was that, like, I don't know, 9 years ago, I was journaling in the night before bed. And I told her that helped me so much. I love actually, and I always was doing the journaling at night, not in the morning, in the night. And then that was way before I created my own journals for a specific purpose to increase your self-worth and self-value. But before then, I was journaling at night. And I told her that I would recommend, even though we do this in the morning, because after I built these journals, I started to journal in the morning. And that's a completely different thing. I found that the morning journaling and the night journaling has two separate purposes, does two separate things. So if I would always keep saying this, use this as a medicine. Use this as a medicine. Which one do you need? And I told her, I recommend when you have these arousals in your mind, then take your journal, although we journaled that morning, take your journal and the same day before to bed, 30 minutes before going bed, start journaling for the day. We will do an exercise today, okay? At the end of the video, we will do an exercise today. So if you have your journal with me, journal with me together right now, at the end of the video, and write it down and report back to me. So when you, by the way, you are here, I appreciate your likes, but this is a subscribers only video. Subscribers only chat. It's open to everybody watching, but subscribers only chat. So I want from my subscribers to be kind and just write and introduce yourselves in the comments, in the chat, so that I know you're here, I know you're watching, I know you're following. So I just want you to be here and say hi. Because again, this is not a random video, this is a training. So I would like you guys to say hi, or at least that you're here announcing yourselves, okay? So, and again, then I told her, journal in the night before bed, so that way this will help you. And actually, in fact, really, the before night journaling, and we will talk more about that later, is so important for if things that if you feel like that day was a kind of very stressful like today, or somebody really pushed your buttons, or something really bad happened, then this would be the perfect time to journal at night. And we'll do the exercise. So again, in order to and of course, even the studies show that. I'm not making just these things up in my mind as my experience, but even the studies show the exact same thing. Even they said the studies showed 15 minutes of journaling before bed really changed and make remark and use gratitude as a practice. Not journaling specifically, but doing gratitude journaling, like being grateful, which is, again, as I mentioned, you don't have to force yourself. That's not what I'm teaching. What I'm teaching is it should come naturally to you to be grateful, not forceful. I'm like grateful for that, not these prompt journals, whatever. This is just, it's just robotic, and that will not necessarily help. What I'm telling you is you, from your brain, can only determine the state where you at to do the gratefulness. So again, in the studies, when they did 15 minutes of gratitude journaling, they saw in the quality, sleep quality score went higher, the reduced sleep onset latency, which is the time it takes to fall asleep, and the increased total sleep time was significantly improved, right? It's just really clear. So because this system is multi-layered, and there are 3 steps for that. Number 1 is that gratitude, and we learned the 10 days about this, and I just mentioned this in the beginning, because gratitude activates the vagus nerve, right? And we discussed this so much in detail. And this vagal nerve activation, of course, triggers the parasympathetic nervous system activation. We also talked about that. And also mentioned this in the beginning. And number 2 is the second step of the mechanism, is that the gratitude journaling interrupts the rumination, okay? Because when you remember, our brain has from evolutionary thinking of the evolutionary pathways or evolutionary sides, it actually has a negativity bias. And when we do the gratitude practice, it just interrupts this negativity bias and shifts towards positivity bias, which we also discussed in detail. And because of this positivity shift, it breaks down, literally interrupts the anxiety that hinders the sleep, falling asleep, which is the onset latency, right? Sleep onset latency, and this actually help it to reduce that, to interrupt it, to break it. So your anxiety loop is being broken by shifting from the negative to the positive. And the third is that gratitude affects the hippocampus processes that days bad memories. Remember that? Because I'm pretty sure you understand when you have a negative experience, a bad experience that day, oh my God, your brain is non-stop thinking about that bad experience. because of the memory in the hippocampus, as I mentioned in the beginning, right? And not repeat that. Just I totally mentioned this in the beginning, so go back and watch it. And right after this, it will be off on YouTube. It will be in our gratitude course, or if you're Inner Royalty member, it will be in our Inner Royalty Circle membership. Okay, available there, already upgraded. But otherwise, it will be in the separate gratitude course. So if you're joined live, fine. If you're not, then it will be right after this available in the course. So it will be off after I'm closing this off. It will be off of YouTube. Okay. So then when in the sleep, when memory consolidation happens, what exactly sleep is when memory consolidation happens. That's when sleep happens, right? Particularly during slow wave sleep. And when we do the gratitude before going to sleep, the memory consolidation is geared more towards the positive. We also talked about that. And of course, the study showed the more you fall asleep with gratitude, the more refreshed you wake up in the morning. Of course, because of the good night of sleep, right? And the threat, the bad memories are not going to be there. Okay, so I'm pretty sure right now my non-subscribers, most likely from other countries, are here. I'm seeing that. And if you want to join the exercise right now, please join. If you are a subscriber, write in the comments. Otherwise, I will continue, and this training will not be available after I close the live stream. It will be only available to the course. And the courses are on my website, drayguensahin.com/courses. And the Inner Royalty Circle is there as well. You have two options. Either you join the Inner Royalty Circle and get the replays of the 30-day Journal with Me challenge with all the techniques, how your brain goes into alpha state, the deep breathing exercises, the vagus nerve stimulation, different techniques that I teach there or taught there. Then you will also get upgraded to have the access to the 14-day Rewire Your Brain with Gratitude. Either you have that option, or you have a single option, just get to 14-day journal, 14-day Revive with Gratitude course. Separate, no me, and just you doing your own thing, going through the replays. If you want to do rather that, it's fine. But the Inner Royalty Circle, we will continue after this ends. Next Wednesday, we will start on the 19th for 6 weeks, every week. This not daily calls, weekly calls for 6 weeks until December 31st. We will do the deep dive of right now, how the sleep, the neuro calming paths, and how we can do this methodically with methods and with scripts and with all the guidance, with bringing our brain down so that we can set our goals and get ready for 2026. That's our goal. That's what we can continue with different techniques, completely different shifts towards the goal setting with clarity, no threat, no fear, literally from the bottom of our hearts. And this is the only truth we have, okay? So all of this. Then the second announcement is before we go into the training, and this is my official birthday fundraiser campaign started. every year for 10 years on my birthday, I start a birthday fundraiser for a cancer organization. So anyone would like to join, I have my goal for $2,000. All of the donations is tax deductible, goes straight to our global cancer nonprofit organization. And it's canceredinstitute.org/donate. So that's my birthday goal for $2,000 for 10 years. I don't ask for any gifts or anything, but I ask for donations for our cancer organization. Lives are in stake. Every cancer patient deserves to have a personalized cancer care, and only we, as the pioneers in personalized cancer care, can provide that because we know how to do that. Our success rate is more than 90%, which is unheard of, but we were able to make that possible as cancer scientists. So if you want to be part of our global personalized cancer care for all campaign, please donate and be part of it. My goal is $2,000, and we have our donation website. You can donate with your credit card very securely. canceredinstitute.org/donate. All right. And we need this immediately before my birthday. My birthday is on Friday the 14th. So before that, we have to get my goal met. And I really, really encourage you to help me with that. Okay. So, and you can set your own goal as well. All right. So let's do this. And then I have to finish this as soon as possible. Okay, so now tonight, I want you to do one thing tonight. I want you tonight, get your journal, okay? Get your journal, Amazon. And 30 minutes before bed, I want you to write down 3 things, okay, that was positive today. Today, if you had a hard time, challenging time today, like mine, might be difficult. But otherwise, try to find 3, and you will, of course, you will find 3 things. At the minimum, that you can even breathe. At the minimum, that you are alive, okay? Okay, you got 2, you got 1 more. That you are able to drink, you have a coffee. That's it, 3, okay? Anything, 3 positive things that happened to you today, okay? So, I want you to write those down. But, as we learned on day 3, I want you to specifically write down the sensory of it. For example, if you were so grateful that you were so hungry, I was like starving because all the time I came back at 1:30 and I was starving. Like I really was so starving. I didn't have breakfast. Didn't do anything because I had no idea that I will be expecting all of these things happen. It took me forever to come back because of all of the systems. So when I was able to eat, right? That's number 1 positive experience. But what's the sensory? We learned this on day 3. Write it down with specificity. Write down how the bread was crispy, and I put butter on it. It was so delicious. And my coffee, it was tasting so good. The coffee and the crisp bread with the butter on it, and you were eating it, and it's just so delicious. So write down these with specific sensories. How did it smell? Or the person you talk with, how did this person, what t-shirt, what shirt, what jacket this person was wearing? How was the person's hair? What was the makeup? I don't know. What was the shirt? What was the smell? What was the laughter look like? Or anything, any sensories you can add to that, that completely shifts your hippocampal memory from the negativity to the positive. So this is literally the positive memory consolidation, okay? Overnight. And that helps you to have a positive memory consolidation at night. Okay? So please do that and come and report back to me tomorrow. I am sure there's people who are following right now, watching this, were not even my subscribers. I can tell you right now, nobody said hi, nobody was here, because this is, the chat is subscribers only. So thanks again anyway for the likes. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. I told you how all of this, what I taught in 30 minutes, and right after this video, this will be off of YouTube. So you lost your chance. You will not be able to rewatch this if you're not joining either to the course or to Inner Royalty Circle. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. I hope you subscribed, hit the notification button, and we will see you tomorrow for gratitude during adversity, which I literally mentioned today. Okay, take care.